All right, welcome to another session. My name's John McLaughlin. It's a freezing cold day today over in the UK. Snow everywhere, snow and ice, but we don't care because we're in a nice warm office and we're doing our Forex trading. And on the charts today, we've got the Euro CAD, the Euro USD, the GBP CAD and GBP USD. And this is the open of the US market. One thing I would say is that I also do a session at 6 a.m. and generally I've found that the market is slightly more favourable, I would say, at 6 a.m. because the centre of the financial universe is the City of London, okay, and the open of the London and the European session see some nice moves. So if you want to jump on the sessions from there, I also do the sessions at 6 a.m. Okay, I'm not quite as cheery at 6 a.m. but nonetheless. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to Euro CAD first. We're going to go to the 15-minute time frame, and we'll put our indicators on. In fact, we'll take off the straightforward Forex. We'll take off the clouds just to make the chart nice and easy to look at. And if this is the first time you've seen the channel and you want to get some more information about how to do this strategy easy, I put a mini course together. So it goes through some of the fundamentals of what we do and what to look out for and imbalance and all that good stuff. So I'll put the card up there. Have a look at that. That's the course, and yeah, you can learn from that for free. Right. So what we're going to do, we're putting these trend lines on, and the principle of this strategy is that we want price to go above the green trend line for potential buys. And by the same token, the opposite, we want it to go below the red trend line for potential sells. And of course, there are other things that we need to bear in mind, other things that we need to consider, which we put together. I just call those like probability stacks. Okay, so if you look at the likes of the indicators, we've got this triangle there, we've got these dots, and then we've also got these moving averages. Okay, and these are all just probability stacks. Also the Wadarata, again, sort of it's like a 3-in-1 type thing. And again, it just gives us a decision based on whether we get in a trade or whether we just stay out. And also the pivots. Okay, I like to have the pivots on there. That's a free indicator that you can use, and it just gives us areas of support and resistance or potentially where price may want to go. Right, so that's on the 15-minute. We're going to wait until 13:15, which is 10 minutes time, and then we can put these lines on and then we can start trading. So Euro USD, okay, 15-minute time frame. Bit of a push down there, and again, before we start doing anything, we need to check the news as well. So 1300, that goes on there, and we'll put our couple of trend lines on in readiness for 13:15. I haven't got my heater on because it interferes with the audio, but if it gets any cooler, I might have to put my trading hat on, which I'm sure is a bit of a treat for everybody. Right, GBP CAD, it's one of them days today. 1300, is that 1300? You go on 13? Yeah, it did. Oh, I suppose on 2 minutes. 15-minute time frame. And what you'll see here is the imbalance. So look at all this imbalance that is, oh, it's touched the imbalance, but it hasn't quite taken it out. So yeah, it's taken out to there. So about a quarter of that imbalance is still active, still live, and the imbalance to the top, that's been taken out, that's been mitigated. So we'll take that away, and we'll take off the indicator so we can see the nice clean chart, and we will go and put our trend lines on. That's that, and we'll look at GBP USD, take the indicators off, go and put it on the 15-minute time frame. A bit smaller if we can see it. And again, we had imbalance from yesterday, that got taken out. If you look at this move here, I think this was a lot of news yesterday, really weird kind of choppy day, and I kind of stayed out on most of the trades, but it's taken this imbalance out. So we're just going to remove that, and then we'll come back and have a look and see what imbalance is here for today. So 1300 two trend lines. Oh, come on. Turn that one to green. Okay, so let's go and have a look at the news. So I'll go to my FX book. Go to the economic calendar. I'm going to click on there and it's going to give us all the news events for today and things that are relevant for us. So what have we got? 13:30 as yesterday. Lots of high impact news on the US dollar. Lots of medium news on the US dollar. In fact, we've got a whole day, another day of US dollar news. So medium, high and low impact news, so that the US dollar is going to be interesting. And what you can do as well, you can go to Forex Factory, and they have a similar service where they'll give you the news events, but it's always worth checking both. But in my experience, I'm just quite happy to use my FX book because, you know, Forex Factory, it's never quite as detailed. Okay, we've got 1:30 news. It's saying that unemployment claims, okay, high impact. Then some medium impact, and then not really much else. So it doesn't really give us a huge amount of insight, okay, compared with my FX book. But it's always worth checking both, just, you know, common sense. So EuroCAD, let's have a look at that. Let's look at some imbalance. So let's see what we've got in terms of imbalance. What have we got down here? Okay, so we've got no, because it's been mitigated down to here. So we've only got imbalance further down from here, and we haven't got any. See how it's covered? This one's been covered, it's all been covered, so there's nothing there. If you want to know about imbalance, how to put it on, go and see the course, module 3 I think it is, where I talk about it. It's simple when you know how to do it, but I always recommend doing things manually, or as manual as possible. So about a third of that to go, of that imbalance, but that's still active. Okay, so nothing too much on there. Euro USD, what have we got? Let's take off the indicators so we can see nice and clear. So we've got imbalance here. Okay, that's been caused by that push down, and obviously we've got news here. So I'm just going to put my my vertical line on there. But there's no point putting the imbalance on there because it's too near the price, and it might all just take it out at that news level. So we'll leave that for now. Nothing there. See, that's those 2 wicks are covered. Okay, and we've got a bit of imbalance there, but that's been mitigated by this wick here, but it's a tiny bit. Okay, so to take off the magnet tool, I'm bringing my crosshairs to this area here, and it's only going to be to there. Okay, so that wick and this wick. Okay, and yes, we can zoom in a little bit to get it a bit more accurate. About there. Okay, so let's get this a bit bigger. This is one of the things about trading views that you need to get. It would be nice to be able to move this without having to change the size of a chart. And I've got a little imbalance template that I use. Just go and put that on there, and again, there we go. Visual. I'm quite a visual learner, or a visual person. There we go. That'll do. So anything further south, down here, look, imbalance. Oh, it keeps doing that. And what have we got down here? A little bit there as well. We've got this imbalance here, which that's been mitigated. We'll take that away, and then we've got imbalance here for a lot of imbalance, huge amount of imbalance. Look at that. This is from some previous, I can't remember what day that is, some day last week or whenever it was. But we'll come back to that because we've got 4 minutes left. Okay. Right, what have we got? GBP CAD. So again, look at that big move down there. Huge, big push. Went to the pivot line. You can see why the pivots are on now. And these are part of an indicator. They're all put on there. They're worked out mathematically. And I just like them as an additional sort of confirmation. And again, talk about that in the course. So if you want to know what they are, how they work, then I'll talk about that in there. So no imbalance there. We've got a tiny bit of imbalance. Have we? No, we haven't. Look, between that wick and this wick, it's been that's been mitigated. What time was that? 9:45 this morning. So would have been some sort of news event, maybe at 9:45. Okay. See how that was imbalance there between here and here, but that's been mitigated now from this price action. So if that imbalance was in there, then you would know that price would do something around this area, and it took out the imbalance. So that move has been mitigated by this. What have we got there? Nothing really. Maybe a tiny bit there, look. Oh. I think I'm going to have to change the batteries in my mouse. I'll take off the... Okay. So between those two wicks there. Right, 2 minutes left, so let's go to that last one. GU, see what we've got in terms of imbalance. Nothing really, nothing jumping out. No. Had imbalance. Okay, we had imbalance there, but that's been taken out. Had imbalance on this push up here. That's been taken out as it's come down to the downside. So there we go. Right, 13:14 and 30 seconds. So 30 seconds left. We'll go back to Euro CAD. So if you look at that candle there, you'll see it's got a big wick to the top and a smaller wick to the bottom. So we're looking at the top wick, and we want the higher high, or the highest candle next to this one. If we look left, and we can see the crosshairs follow it across. Where does it go to? It goes to that second red candle here. So we're going to put this. That's all on. So we're going to put the trend line on top of there. And this one goes to the top of this wick, just there. Okay, that's the first one on, and we're looking to the lower low, which is the one next to it, this one here, and bring it up to that wick. Now obviously we've got to wait till 13:15, and we're 13:15 now. So we'll put it on the 2 minute time frame. We put our indicators back on, and we'll just make it a wee bit bigger so we can see it. There we go. Okay, so it's already gone down below the red trend line, so we're going to have to put these other ones on fairly sharpish. So magnet tool on. Now if you look at the start of the session, there is no lower low, so we put this one horizontal. So click your mouse, click the shift, and it goes. That's it. 2 minutes, indicators back on, magnet tool off, zoom in so we can see. There we go. Okay, it's doing the same thing. GBP CAD. The higher high is, I'm going to I'm going to put on that red candle there. Magnet tool on. The lower low is the one next to it. Very steep trend line, but that's where it is. 2 minutes time frame, off the magnet tool, and indicators back on. Last one is GU, the higher high. There. Onto there. The lower low. Oh, not that one, that one. 2 minute time frame, indicators back on, magnet tool off, zoom in so we can see. There we go. Okay, let's go back to Euro CAD and see what that's doing. So that's looking quite nice for a potential sell. In fact, let's have a look at this. So we go short. Okay, we're going to put this on the price right now, and the first consideration is, where is our stop loss going to be? Overbearing, or the overall thing you want to be looking at is protecting your account. I'm going to put it at this engulfing candle there, and we're looking for a 1 to 2. And a 1 to 2 takes us, in fact, you know what I haven't looked at, or I haven't actually considered, was the 1330 news. So the high impact news that's going to come here is going to have an effect on everything. Okay, but we'll put that on there and just see what's going to happen. Let's have a look at to see what's going to happen there. That's Euro US, and again, I'm not going to get into anything until after the news. Okay, it may well come down nicely. We could make some profits with this, but there is also a lot of imbalance that needs to be taken out, and but we're also currently at that pivot line, and the pivot line is currently in resistance for this price because it's still touching the line, and you might find, I mean, it's just touched it. If we just go and zoom in on here, you see how it's just almost touched it. There was a tiny gap, okay, a tiny gap. So if the next candle's 22 seconds, we might want to look at potentially, and what's the distance between here, so where the price is right now down to the bottom of that imbalance, it's only 6 pips, and that's kind of where price may well go to. It'll be attracted to this level, but again, look, we're still in resistance, so it's still, even if news wasn't a factor, we're still not really getting interested in this because it's just hovering around the pivot line. Again, what I want is a nice bit of clear air for it to come down. So let's just go to the next one. So GBP CAD, oh, that's gone above. That's gone above the trend line. That's quite interesting. So we've got the news at 1330. See, what's going to happen here is this, the red trend line is also going to be resistance. So if this breaks above, and we've got 54 seconds left, then we might want to look at a potential buy. The next question is, where is the price going to go to? We've got imbalance up here, okay, and we've got this cluster of highs here. So what we'll do, we go and put our area of interest on, and we're going to put it on fairly conservatively. So what I do is I just look at the crosshairs and see where is the price respected. Obviously there's an area here, okay, but the highest level is about there. So this is slightly optimistic, but then you look at where price is doing now. Price is still having a think. It's having a think, and it's going, nah, I'm all right here for the minute, thanks. Okay, so it got to the line, it found resistance, and then came back. So again, we're just still waiting. GU, what's GU doing? GU is where we call no man's land. Okay, it's in the middle of this wedge, okay, between the green and red trend lines, and so we don't get into anything because there's support and resistance in all different directions. We'll just leave that. Ooh, coffee. It's the best thing any marketer can have. Lots of caffeine. Lovely. Right, so look at Euro CAD again. So had we got in this, would have been stopped out with that, because again, we've got to consider news and consider sort of weird price action before news kicks in. So it did come below the trend line, okay, but what else did we not consider? Okay, we didn't consider things like the WAD ATA. Okay, so that would have kept us out anyway, because it's in the dead zone. There's no volume. Okay, so yeah, it's coming down, but look, it's not even outside of the dead zone. Ideally, what we want on this histogram is if you see the way the green trend line is coming up there, it's coming up past the explosion line, and that is slightly more encouraging for a buy in terms of what the WAD ATA is telling us. Okay, but this I didn't even bother looking at this, so this was just ridiculous. it was only based on number one. Okay, look, it's coming down past the red trend line, let's have a look. Didn't even consider that, didn't even consider the moving averages. So it's really important to look at everything. Remember I said about those stacks of probability. You've got to look at each one and weigh each one on its own merits. Put it all together, put all those little stacks together, and open it up and go, okay, this is what we've got. And also there, we were in a wave down. In fact, we weren't. We were in a wave up. We're in a wave up. We're still in a wave up. It came down. Then we got into a wave down. But yeah, the WAD ATA was showing us nothing. Okay, so let's just get rid of that. So yeah, GBP CAD. It's again, WAD ATA is showing us that it wants to come up. We've got green PSARs. We've got a green wave. We're in a wave up. Okay, been in a wave up since here. Moving averages, what have we got there? Okay, we've got the 5, the 13, the 60, the 200 and the 62. So they're not actually in order, but they are pointing up. Okay, which again is encouraging. And sometimes what you can find is that even though the green trend line, the red trend line is resistance, it's going sharply up. Okay, so price could hit and come down, hit and come down, hit and come down, hit and come down, and over time you're increasing profit. So this is above the trend line. This could be in for a potential long. And again, where would your stop loss be? Well, there we've got the engulfing candle, but it's a little bit, that's only going to be what, 3 pips? Yeah, 3.4 pips. Ideally you'd want it below this trend line, but then if it's below the trend line, then you've got to go for a 1-to-2 ratio. You need 21 pips. Okay, so that's going to take you all the way up here. Oh, 18 pips. Yeah, of course it is. I was just thinking it was 10. So that you could well achieve that, but then the other consideration is here we've got the news. Okay, let's just leave it on. Okay, because it'd be interesting. I always stay out of news. Whenever there's high impact news, I'm always kind of really cautious and stay out. But let's just see. Okay, so this is the pound dollar. And again, because we've got all this high impact news, essentially what we're finding is you get the consolidation and this sideways rotation before the news hits. And then the price will react quite violently, be quite volatile. And the reason there's not much volume, you see how there's not really much volume, is because everyone's waiting pretty much for the news. Okay, so if we look at GU, if we look at EU, Euro CAD, it's just still coming down steadily, but again, you've got this push down, then you've got this area here of consolidation over the last sort of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 minutes. And then we've got the news, and then we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen. I would imagine. I mean, if you look at the 15 minute, and we have a look at we take a step back and we look at the overall picture. Okay, are we in an uptrend or a downtrend? Okay, an uptrend or a downtrend? Are we in a downtrend? And if we just get a trend line on, okay, and I know you don't have to do this, but you know. We're in a downtrend, clear downtrend, all right. And one of the mantras about trading is the trend is your friend until the bend. All right, so we're currently in a downtrend. So potentially, when the news goes, it may well take out some of this imbalance. But we're currently in a downtrend, so we'll see. But that's what you want to do. Sometimes with scalpers, where it's almost like you're looking at the charts with a magnifying glass, and you're looking really close. And sometimes we just need to get rid of the magnifying glass and take a step back and go, what is the overall trend? What's happening? And can I get a slightly zoomed out view of the market? And we need to do that quite a lot more often. I think a lot of scalpers, we tend to be so focused on the minor moves and getting those quick wins. If we take a step back and have a look, it can benefit us greatly. So GBP CAD, so that's going up still. Okay, it's gone past the trend line, which again is encouraging for me, because that was an area of resistance. It's now pushed through that. Okay. So that's quite interesting. I'm a bit twitchy about this because we do have this news coming up in like a minute. So even though we're looking at this going, okay, we've got some profits, you could lose that in literally a second. So before the news, if you've taken, okay, there we go. Oh, we're still within now, but it has dropped it. Okay. And this is why, trading the news is sometimes really risky. Okay, let's go quick look at GU and see what happened there. So it has come down. So the Euro USD, I said it might have brought it down. See how it's brought it down to the very top of that imbalance. And as I say on the course, imbalance, you'll find areas of support and resistance. And this has offered resistance for that price coming down. And the banks know this. The banks know full well that they've got money here, okay? And they know where they've left money on the table. Exactly, okay? As indicated by this, it's brought it all the way down to the top of the imbalance. Which is why putting imbalance on your chart is so important, because it gives you a bigger picture of what's happened. Okay, so GBP CAD, what's happened there? So it's still messing around, but it hasn't really reacted quite as violently as I thought it would. And here you can see why putting your stop loss below these trend lines can be a good barrier. okay, in some circumstances, and you can't guarantee what's going to happen during the news, okay. But those areas, okay, will protect your account as long as the numbers work, okay. And you know, we might even see prices shoot all the way down past there. But let's see. We are technically, we're still in profit with this, but having, if we'd got in there and we got to there, we're 8 pips of profit, okay, and I would have been tempted to look at that because of the news, and I would have got out. I would have got out around here, gone, okay, I've got 8 pips, I'm out, we're good, okay, and we've still got a bit of profit, but not as much as before, and it takes us away from the stress of trading the news, which really you want to avoid. Okay, so look at GU. So this move down here. Okay, so that's 17 pips. And actually, it's not as bad as some. You know, sometimes you get the news on a Friday, especially where they're looking to get the targets built up, ready for the next week, and sometimes you can see, you know, 100 pip moves in a few seconds. You just imagine if you had no stop loss on. I know a lot of scalpers who say, no, I just babysit my trades. I don't bother with stop losses and take profits. It's so bloody risky, you know, and that's where you want to start using something like a trade manager, you know, where you can just press a button and it's all done for you. The 1 to 2 risk to reward, your stop losses and everything are all put into the trade manager, and you're safe. The other thing a trade manager can do as well is, let's say, let's just grab one on here. Okay, so let's say we're in this trade for a sell. Okay, let's say we're in this trade for a sell. Let's put this short on. Okay, so imaginary sell. All right, so we've got our stop loss up here, 6.2. With a 1 to 2 ratio. So you've just entered a trade with your trade manager, okay, and we have access to something like this in our group. So you put your trade on, okay, but the price is going down. It continues to going down, and it continues to go down, and it continues to go down, and you go, I've just lost out on all this profit, okay. So what can happen with the trade manager, okay, is it will adjust your stop loss, okay, and it'll bring your stop loss down. Okay, so you continue to make profit, and it will bring your stop loss down, and it will continue to make profit, and it will bring your stop loss down. So you can ride the whole wave. If it went all the way down to here, okay, your stop loss will be moved down in increments that you set. Those increments can be 10 pips or 5 pips or 7 pips or whatever it is. And as soon as the price comes back up, then it will take you out. But you will benefit from those big moves, okay, with something like this strategy. So I always recommend, you know, we have access to a trade manager that will do that, and I always recommend using that for scalping. Because the other thing as well, you've got to consider, excuse me a second. You've got to consider the fact, scalping's quick. And if you're going to scalp something like gold, which I've done a lot of in the past, it's really quick. And by the time you get onto your MT4 and you're going, okay, stop loss, let's have a look at 100850. Okay, 100850. The price is gone. Price is gone. Nah, see you, mate. Too slow. Okay. Whereas with a trade manager, you can just put your entry level in, click, go. It will put all the details in for you. Okay. And yes, it does take a bit of practice, but like anything, you practice enough, you get proficient, and you know what to do. Right. EuroCAD. What are we doing now? EuroCAD has gone above the green trend line. Okay. It's gone above the pivot line. So the pivot line could be providing some form of, no, it's still in resistance because it's gone past it. But here, look, if we look at this, we've got to be mindful of that and to say, okay, price previously went to this level. So if this price started going up and it started piquing our interest for a potential buy, got to go, okay, how far would it go? Okay, then you get your ruler tool. Let's say price is around the pivot line, so we look at that and we go, okay, potentially we've got 9 pips in that, and then to this area here, okay, potentially we've got 11 pips in that, and then to the bottom of the imbalance we've got 17 pips. Okay, but again, we've got to look at price action, find out what's happening, and see what's going to go on. But see, we've got a resistance area here, so it'd be nice to see this candle. It came up and down and messed about, and it's still doing the same thing. Needs to break free, and there needs to be a gap between the pivot and then to start moving up to give us any real indication that it wants to go for the buy. We've got 39 seconds left. We'll come back and have a look at that. So Euro USD, it's no. PSAR is wrong colour. WADR is okay-ish, but no, it's not really showing me much. Let's see what this is going to do. See, look, was green. It's come back down to that line. It's going to close. It looks like the new candle is going to form in between the red trend line and the pivot, and it's now going back down south. So wasn't enough volume to push it past, and but now if we're looking at potential sells, then price needs to come all the way down here and flip this PSAR, and I doubt that's going to happen in the next few minutes. So Euro USD, yeah, same thing. That needs to come back all the way down here before we kind of get interested. What do we have there? So it's coming below. Okay, we've got the red PSAR. We are currently in a wave up, so it's the wrong direction for us. And really, we want the price to go up, because potentially we could have been in this trade, okay. And right now we'd have been in drawdown. So the WADR is showing us there's a bit more strength in the market, as shown by that. The explosion line is coming. Sorry about that. The explosion line is coming back towards the dead zone. So, and there we go. That's just taken us out. So again, always I just say avoid the news. Just stay away from the news. And now we've got to consider, okay, are we going to get in for the sell? We've gone past the trend line, okay, and we're now hitting the 200 moving average. That's going to be a resistance area. This is showing some kind of strangeness. What have we got in terms of the 15.15 is the next lot of news. It's quite bizarre. But like I say, it's flipped the PSAR, okay, which would have obviously kept us out. So the PSAR's flipped. We've got 5 pips to there, 16 pips to our next point of interest. I just don't like it. I just don't like the way it's moving. It's not. We've got this big manipulation here from the news. And to see that big move there for kind of, I don't like it. And if I don't like it, we don't get in. So let's see what he does in a bit. Probably end up going down to the pivot line, but from here, that was a massive push, quick. From here, there's only about 5 pips to the pivot. So 25 seconds left, and to be quite honest with you, I'm expecting this price to go back, but if it doesn't, then I might consider getting in. It's just weird. I mean, from there, you'd want your stop loss to be, I would say, above the PSAR. It's 10 pips. It's too much. I just don't like it. Our take profit could be around here, okay. And if we're looking at 1 to 2, no, I just don't like it. It's manipulation. It's still happening. Right, let's just have a quick look. So Euro CAD. Euro CAD is obviously below. Okay, we've got this move here and this area here. What have we got on this time frame? A minute left. So again, the PSARs are the wrong colour. The Wadarata showing us okay, yeah. Histogram's looking alright. Below the explosion line is moving away from the dead zone. Well, that's okay. When a wave down, that's alright. Moving averages, we have the white, the 5, the 13, it looks like we've just got the crossover there. So we've got the 5, which is moving down, pointing down, the 13, which is pointing down, the 62, which is kind of pointing down, and the 200, which is doing the same. And yet price is coming back. And the PSARs are wrong colour, so still no good. So GU is now resisting at the pivot. Looks like it's probably reversing as well. But yeah. It's clearly under some form of manipulation still. Because this move here, from the top of the red candle all the way down to where it went, is 33 pips. Which is quite a big move in 6 minutes. So it's still suffering the effects of this news. There's still manipulation going on. And I don't like it. Yeah. If you look at the moving averages, look at that. Steep descent on the 5, same on the 13, same on the 62, same on the 200. So they're in order, okay? We're in a wave down, that's okay. Wadarata is showing us, okay, well, you know, fairly good, even though we're on a salmony pink colour. So slightly less strength, PSAR's flipped, and yet we're still just struggling around this area of the pivot. It's still resisting. Yeah, right, let's have a look at the rest of them. So EuroCAD into consolidation. It's taken out, well, it already took out the imbalance anyway. PSAR is the wrong colour for a sell. And the WADAR is... See, if it took out the PSAR and we we look at, say, somewhere around here, got like 10-11 pips to the pivot line, but price is reversed anyway. So right, Euro USD, again it's resisting at the pivot, and the PSAR's the wrong colour. And what are we in? I'm going to wave down. Yeah, kind of going sideways on there. GU is the same. So everything has made some weird manipulative moves, and it seems to be consolidating. Euro CAD consolidation, Euro USD consolidation. Now it's flipped the PSAR. Okay, so that's given us a check, PSAR flip. Number 2 is moving averages, 5, 13, 62, 200, all in order. Okay, all pointing down. That's okay. What are ATA? What's that telling us? Telling us it's running out of steam. Okay, so salmony pink. The explosion line is looking at that. Looks like it's kind of going sideways, but it's outside the dead zone, obviously. But it's run out of steam. So again, into consolidation. GBP CAD, same thing. And GU, same thing. See, some people who use this strategy may well have got into this move around here. Okay, so in resistance with this red trend line, and then go, okay, yeah, we're well clear, let's get in. Okay, so from there, if you'd have got in somewhere around here, okay, you'd done about 12 pips. Okay, but I just didn't like the way it was going. I just didn't like the price action. And if you don't like it, then no one's forcing you around to get in. Right? I just look for ways to stay out of trades. Probably stay out of more trades than I should, but that's just the way I trade. Don't like losing, but then you're gonna lose. Nothing happening. So let's do this. Excuse me, this is what we did yesterday. So currently we've got 15 pips in this little section here. So we're going to go to our parallel channel, click on there. It's going to click just above there, just above the wicks. Okay, go across. And what you want to make sure is try and get this as level as you can. I'll do. Click it. Drag it down to about there. Okay, and then put an alert on it. So you want an alert that says exiting the channel once per bar and create. That's it. Euro USD. Again, we've got this. See this area between where all this imbalance is. Okay, and this area is just a zone. So again, 18 pips either way. So we'll get a parallel channel. Put that on there. Make sure it's level. Bring it down to there. Exiting the channel once per bar. Create. GBP CAD. Parallel channel. This is the kind of area of consolidation here. So I'm going to go the green trend line. I'm going to bring that as level as we can, and then just just slightly below that wick. Click on the clock, exit in the channel, once per bar, create. And then the last one is GU. So we'll go on to parallel channel. I'll put it about there. There. There we go. So we don't want to be staring at the charts for, you know, all afternoon. I mean, sometimes some people do. Some people love it, you know. But if you've got other things to do, or if you're at work, you've only got a lunch break of maybe an hour, maybe half an hour. So you can do this, and you can go and check your phone. And if you're proficient with entering trades on your phone and understanding how to set your stop loss and take profit, then do it. Okay. And what's going to happen is, as soon as this goes up to here, in fact I'll leave it because it looks like it might just go up, and then we'll get an alert on desktop, and it can send us an email or send us a message on your phone. If you got the TradingView app, you can do that. It's very good as well, and it will just let you know what's going on. So let's have a quick look. So Euro CAD, again sideways. Euro USD, same. GBP CAD, starting to go up a little bit, and there we go. What's that? GBP USD. Yeah, so it's just breaking out of that channel. And then we start thinking about the strategy. Okay, so you go, okay, you've broken out the channel. Now what? Okay, well now the strategy says you got to go above the green trend line. Okay, so that's a lot of movement before you can get up here. Okay, and the movement from here up to there is like 16 pips. So again, you've got to make an assessment and find out what's going to happen. But currently, we're in a wave down. So we're in a wave down. PSAR is the wrong colour, so the PSAR needs, the price needs to come all the way up here before the PSAR flips. By which time it could end up doing that and going up this way. But look at the Wadarata. It's just saying, no, I'm going to get loads of these now. GBP CAD, they're all activating. Okay. They're all doing the same sort of thing. You need to make sure this PSAR flips. This is the green trend line, so we're already above, or we're already around the area of the green trend line, as you can see. I think numerate, no, that didn't go off. That didn't go off, just those two. But again, the price needs to come up, hit the PSAR will flip underneath, and then we can continue to the upside. And then we'll look at the Wadar. We'll look at the Wadarata, we'll look at the histogram, we'll look at the explosion line. We'll look at if we're in a wave up or a wave down, and just assess everything from there. Okay. So that's where I'm going to leave you. So 4 pairs. Again, there was a potential for a very quick trade, maybe to take some pips, but if we stayed in this, would have got taken out, and that's just part of the game. Okay, but again, I didn't really assess it properly before getting into this, and also, you know, I really want to show you what would happen when you trade during high impact news. So I always say stay out of it, just to keep yourself safe. There we go. So I hope you've enjoyed the session. Any questions you've got, just drop me a comment below. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then hit that subscribe button, and I really appreciate that. It gives us a bit of a boost for the algorithm. And I think currently, at the time of speaking, I think yesterday was 16 subscribers. So it builds up. So I like to build channels slowly and just build up and see how we go. And that's what's happening. So, and again, get some value from that course, because you're going to get a lot of information about the strategy and how to be successful with it. So hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next session. Bye for now.